Well, I hope you're ready for some unindoctrination because ready or not, ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty coming to you straight out the heartland. Shameless promotion tonight, 11:01 p.m. Central Time. We come to you with Late Night in the Heartland. It is a call-in show. We'll have our new phone system installed by then. It's a call-in show. You set the topics. You call and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Only two rules: be polite, be interesting. And tonight the competition starts because we'll have calls on hold. So you got to be polite and you got to be interesting, or we will be moving on, ladies and gentlemen. But today, the subject is, of course, more about Engrams. We're getting back into our Create Yourself teaching on Dianetics, ladies and gentlemen. And we have started a new policy. We have absolutely zero tolerance for any trolls in the chat. You are absolutely not allowed to troll in the chat because trolls that troll in the chat are bitches with no balls. But at the end of every show I do, I will open the timeline. I will open the timeline. Maybe I am, but I'll open the call-in lines. And if you have the balls to make the calls, you can call in and voice your opinion of love, of hate, but you will not be allowed to troll in my chat room because homie don't play that. Bitches get stitches around here and they can't talk in the chat. Oh, good. Get Dagger beat me to it. You will be treated. You act like a bitch, we will slap you like a bitch. But at the end of the show, if you're a no-ball bitch, you won't call. And that way we save a lot of problems. So mods, go get them. Don't block them. Just if the first time they're a bitch, remove their comment. Second time they're a bitch, put them on a timeout. And if they're dumb enough to be a bitch again, then go ahead and hide them from the channel. Homie, don't play that. But homie plays this, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about more on Engrams, and this is going to be a shorter show, more of a bite-size show, if you will. And this is deep information. It's dense information, and we want you, as Christopher Brown says, no marbles. That's how they are. We want you to be able to take this in bite-sized pieces, and I promise you I'll be bringing you Dianetic information at least 3 times a week because we got to get this party started for sure. Okay, so let's jump right into our presentation today for you. So the first question I want to talk about is how many Engrams. And an aberree with Engrams can live on a roller coaster sanity curve. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Has anybody ever lived with a person that was on a roller coaster sanity curve? How many of you have ever been a person? And dare I say and ask, don't tell us out loud, how many of you have ever been a person that is on a roller coaster sanity curve? Let me speak first of all to those of you that are on a roller coaster sanity curve. You hate yourself. You don't like it. You want to stop it. You think that you're a bad person. You think that you're a terrible person. You think it's your own fault. You don't know why you continue to hurt and lash out at those you love. I'm here to tell you today, it is not your fault. It is not anything that you have done. It's something that has been done to you that should set you free or give you the ability to know that you can be set free. Much of bipolar disorder is attributed to Engrams. I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on YouTube. Don't construe this as medical advice in any way. Take it for what it's worth and take it for what it is. But you don't have to be this way. It's not the way you are. You weren't born with original sin. You have the spark of divinity within. You don't have to go on bended knee to somebody else's savior because you don't need salvation. You're divine, you're sovereign, you're free, and you can be free of these swings of mood. And it's not a demon. It's not a demon. It just acts like what people have told you are demons, and there's a reason why they want you to think you have demons. But listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages. Aborrees live a roller coaster sanity curve. I've never been on that curve myself, but I almost married somebody that rode that roller coaster. And it is beyond horrible to even think about what could have happened and what could have been my life. If you're that person, there's help. If you know a person that's with that person, there's help. And if that person doesn't get help, you seriously, and again, this is take it for what it's worth. I'm not making life recommendations, but it won't get better unless they get Dianetic work. It won't get better. So make your decisions wisely, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages. All uncleared persons are aborrees. And guess what? Almost everybody is uncleared. Clear means have gone through Dianetic processes and have discharged all Engrams. You know how many people have done that? Not very many. And every person that has not done that is an aborree to a greater or a lesser extent. And years of research suggest this has been researched since 1946. Years of research suggest that the average number of Engrams in the average number of aborrees is in the hundreds. They're not demons. It's not because you're bad. It's not because of anything you've done. It's because of what has been done to you. If you didn't notice, this is information that will set the captive free. And if you didn't notice, this works not most of the time. This works 100% of the time with 100% of the people. That's why this message is being so opposed. And as we get deeper into this, you will see more and more opposition coming against me. And that's okay, because I'm a big boy and I'm ready to rock and roll. But understand that this is the key. I told you a couple of days ago, this is the event. This information is the event. This information is the great awakening. And we are here to bring an end to what Lionel says. We live in a constant state of pain and unawareness, and the unawareness is caused by the pain which is injected into us by the mainstream media. Let's all get free, says Harry, and I agree 100%. And the thing about it is, once you have the Engram, they are always susceptible to re-stimulation, and it's got nothing to do with your conscious. I just got to control myself. You can't. I just got to be stronger in mind. You can't. The Engram bank is always susceptible to re-stimulation. I live with somebody, could be a sweetheart on Tuesday and a raving monster on Thursday. Or sweetheart Tuesday noon, monster Tuesday 12:01. Are you like that? Do you live with someone like that? Do you know someone like that? If you don't have to live with them, I'll tell you what Steven Tyler told me. Yeah, that's Steven Tyler. He said, run. Run. Don't care how much you love her. Don't care how wonderful she is. Run. Your life will be hell. And he was right. I didn't listen, but I ran eventually. So, and that's not against that person, because that person, it was not her fault. It was not anything she had done. It was things that were done to her, as we're talking about this particular subject here. So the sanest, sweetest person 1 minute can be a raving monster the next minute, if and when the right situation occurs to stimulate one of their Engrams. And it's automatic. It's like pushing a button. They can't help it. Steven Tyler is one of the coolest dudes. fought back from addiction. He's helping many people break addiction. He's given so much great entertainment to so many people. I don't care if he's done some bad stuff. I don't know that he has, and he wears the look. He's a good dude, and I appreciate Steven Tyler. But anyway, let's move on. This isn't about Steven Tyler. And the problem with a person that is inflicted with Engrams and is in an environment where they'll be re-stimulated is that they're so unpredictable. So unpredictable. An aberrated person transcends all predictability. You just can't know what they're going to be. And some of you just can't know what you're going to be. You can't know. Because nobody, even the body that we're talking about, even if that body's you, nobody knows. You know the old song, nobody knows what Engrams they have in their reactive bank. Nobody knows. And nobody knows what situation will contain what re-stimulators. It's a matter of chance. Nobody knows. And nobody knows what level of re-stimulation will manifest. It cannot be known. Lionel says most humans are nuts based on their unawareness. He's absolutely right. No wonder relationships are so difficult. Starting with the relationship with yourself. You hate yourself. You kick yourself. You're ashamed of yourself. You didn't do it. It was done to you. You can't stand her. You can't stand him. Run. Because they can't control themselves. Oh, I'll get better. I'll stop. They can't. Unless they get dianetically clear. What you see is what you get. And it's going to be what you get. What you get is what you got for the rest of the duration. That's just the way it is, folks. That's just the way it is. You know, I'm usually the king of optimism, the last great optimist, but I'm also a man that lives in reality, and I'm a man that's been there, done that. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. My granddad used to tell me, and I'm sorry, ladies, but you could turn this around. He would tell me, Jeff, don't worry about that girl. They're like buses. There'll be another one along every 5 minutes. And that's true. There's billions of people on this planet. You don't have to get hooked up on one. Find you one that you like everything about. And don't settle for one that you don't like everything about. I did. And I found her and she found me. Do not settle. Well, I like everything but this. Forget that but this. Go find you another one that ain't got that but. And don't get too attached to a but, if you know what I mean. Because there's a lot of beautiful women in this world. There's a lot of handsome men in this world. But there's not a lot of clear and healthy women in this world. Not a lot of clear and healthy men in this world. And Jimmy Swaggart told me one thing one time. He said, Jeffrey, no matter how beautiful she is, and he said these words, somebody somewhere is sick of her shit. And I know that you're sick of your shit sometimes. And I'm showing you the way to get your shit together. Brandon says, he can't quit me. I hear you, Brandon. It's like a bromance on Brokeback Mountain. Not that way, brah, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. No wonder. And if she's taking pictures of herself on Snapchat all the time, bad sign. If he's playing videos all the time, video games all the time, bad sign. Anyway, let's move on. Language is the X factor because we believe, we're not sure, but we believe it seems like all the evidence points to that engrams are likely embedded in the cells themselves. And cells probably don't understand language. Let me give you an example. An example from my Pentecostal preaching past. And if she's got an OnlyFans page, she's a hoe. Move on. Unless you like hoes, and then you get what you deserve, right? I'm not sure what OnlyFans is, but I think somebody told me it's like pay-per-view porn or something. Everybody can be a porn star. I bet you I know who it's owned by. But anyway, we'll move on. So take two situations. And I've seen this situation. It's why I used it. Ron didn't write this. I did. Usually the things that I wrote are in parentheses, but I forgot to put parentheses on this one. Take two situations with somebody who's trying to pray through to be able to speak in tongues. To speak in tongues. Okay? This one guy, in one situation, a guy's trying to pray himself through to speak in tongues, and somebody's slapping him on the forehead saying, "Let go, let go." And then the next night he comes back to the revival, and somebody is slapping him on the forehead saying, "Hang on, hang on." So what does he do when he goes back the next month or the next year to a revival and he gets slapped on the head? Or if he's just going about his business, not at church, and he happens to get slapped on the head. Or if he smells olive oil, because usually they'll anoint you with olive oil. Or if he hears somebody else speaking in tongues. When it gets re-stimulated, what does he do? Does he hang on? Hang on, hang on. Or does he let go? Let go. It creates a situation of intense anxiety because he's got two Engrams, presumably with equal re-stimulation factor, presumably with equal physical original intent and pain and power, and they're telling him two different things. Hold on, let go, hold on, let go, hold on. What do? You get anxiety, you get a headache, and it can be so acute that it can be disabling, and it can even get to the place where people can have a nervous breakdown. You got an Engram from a person that beat you. Oh, and then you got an Engram from a person that beat you saying, "I love you." So what do? You get a headache, you get anxiety, and you stay. If a person beats you, leave. If a person hits you, leave. I can't make it any more plain than that. So let's finish up with the reality. The reality, Lady Justice, of Engrams. Engrams enter. I go back and forth. Engram, potato. You know what I'm talking about. Engrams. I like Engrams, but I think it might be pronounced Engram, but who cares? Engrams enter when consciousness is reduced. And they only enter when consciousness is reduced. It thereafter operates within the organism apart from the need for conscious thought or decision. Once you get an Engram, you can't stop yourself once it gets re-stimulated again, because an Engram bypasses your, let's go back to the speaking in tongues at church. You're worshiping, oh, shanana. Oh, you can't do that yet. You're worshiping, oh, and you've already entered into a hypnotic state. Your analytical mind is a little bit turned off. Maybe it's a lot turned off. Depends on how good the worship leader is. And your analytical mind is turned off, and that Engram from the let go, it goes in past your analytical mind, and it's in your reactive mind. So next time, you smell olive oil, or you get a tap on your head like this, or you hear somebody say, "Honda, Toyota, Kawasaki." You hear some of that shit, then automatically, without thought, no matter if you do, you are remanifested into that engramic aberrational behavior. It's like a soldered in mechanical operation. It's built into you, and you can't stop it no matter how much you want to. And they will remain there until they are unsoldered and removed by Dianetic processes. And if you don't get Dianetic processes, and if they don't get Dianetic processes, it will never leave. Never. And Engrams, listen to this. This is the big takeaway here. There's been a lot of takeaways, but this is a huge takeaway. Engrams can dictate all of the processes incident to living, including Engrams can dictate your beliefs. Let me give you an example. You're a dirty, rotten sinner. It was your sins that sent Jesus to the cross. You killed Jesus. You stand guilty before Almighty God. And only if you will come on bended knee and beg him to forgive you, only if you'll receive the blood can you be set free. Boom, Engrams. Engrams. I'm a dirty, rotten sinner. I killed Jesus. I'm guilty. There's no way I can be set free. I got to have a church. I got to have a religion. I got to have a savior. Oh, and you think that you believe those things. Oh, no, you don't. Those things have been engrammatically implanted into your subconscious. And when they're re-stimulated, you can't control yourself. You're a victim. You're a captive. You're a slave to the Christian fear and guilt, mind control, blood, magic, matrix. But here's another way. Beliefs. Donald Trump just gave one of the darkest speeches that's ever been heard from an American president. Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump loves white supremacists. Joe Biden rescues puppies, and Joe Biden is up by 20 points. All of those are lies, but they come from the mainstream news, and you're watching TV, and we know it's not debatable that when you're watching television, your analytical, thank you, Vargas, your analytical mind is reduced, and they're speaking these engrams right into your mind. And you can watch Joe Biden can't even answer a question without the teleprompter. They say he's in a town hall and he's taking questions from random voters. The reality is they've given the voters the question. And don't believe me, look on a Google. Lady says Biden gave her question. A beautiful, great Black American patriot young lady stands up and says, I got this paper here that they told me I had to ask, but she crumples up and says, but I got to ask you another question. That's a beautiful patriot. And that's to prove that they're giving him. Nope, you can't do that, Rick. Not in here because it's not true. Call at the end if you want to talk about it, but you can't do that. Not only are they giving people the questions to ask him, which would be bad enough, right? It would be bad enough. But then when he answers the questions that he knows they're going to ask, he still has a teleprompter. And Donald Trump just released a great ad that highlights this. And you can Google Joe Biden reading teleprompter. And Joe Biden is saying, when he's answering a question that was written for the person that he already knows the answer to, he's like, move it up, move up the teleprompter. He can't hardly see it. He reads it wrong, then goes back and reads it right. Listen, I don't know. I don't know Joe Biden, but I know that a man, and he's having a town hall, and you can see in his picture, he holds up a picture, and there's a reflection of the teleprompter. He can't even answer a question that he knows the answer to without somebody telling him what to say. You don't want that person being your president. But you're so filled with engramic programming that you can watch him do that. You can watch him feel up young girls and smell them. You can watch him lie through his teeth. You can watch him tell you, you don't deserve to know what I would think about packing the Supreme Court. And some of you watching this video are going to be reactivated by your Engrams, and you're going to go out. You are going to go up. You're going to go out and vote for Biden. But it won't be you voting for Biden. It'll be your Engrams that have been activated by an outside force voting for Biden. If you vote for Donald Trump on November 3rd, you will help initiate the greatest American century that we've ever seen. If you vote for Joe Biden on November 3rd and somehow he wins, you will have participated in the destruction, the final death of the American ideal of representative republic government. I try to be nice, but you cannot chat, you cannot troll unless you call at the end. Okay. They can dictate your beliefs, they can dictate your opinions, they can dictate your thought processes or lack of them. And they can dictate all the actions that you take of all kinds, because they turn off your intellectual, they turn off your analytical mind, and you are running on your reptilian mind, reaction mind programming. And they can contain all the possibilities of all the combinations of words in your known language. If you're multilingual, you're multi-engrammable. You are multi-engrammable. And what do most people do when confronted by this type of information? What do most people do when confronted by this type of information? What do most people do when confronted by information that shows that the literal text of what they call the scripture, which is really the script, teaches something exactly opposite of what they're told it's taught that it means? What do? Most will fight to justify their actions rather than realize what their actions really are. And at the end of the day, proverbially, at the end of the day, our greatest enemy is probably self-inflicted justification. Instead of having the courage to look our beliefs in the eye, so to speak, objectively, we justify them because we don't want to be stupid. We don't want to be wrong. Some of us will never be right because we can't risk being wrong. Shit, I'm wrong all the time. Well, not very often, but I'm willing to be wrong all the time. I'm willing to be wrong all the time. I did the video yesterday about young Pharaoh's video on L. Ron Hubbard, Dianetics, Scientology. He taught me some things I didn't know, and he's 26, 27. So what? He's bringing receipts. He's bringing truth. If you're not willing to be wrong, you will never get yourself right. Never. Never. And as long as you continue to justify your beliefs instead of subjecting them to objective observation, as long as you continue to justify your opinions instead of subjecting them to objective information, you will never be right. I'm diagnosing the disease, and there's no doubt about it. I'm right. And I'm also giving you the cure. And it works for every person every time it's tried, but you have to decide to do it or not do it. You can continue in your self-inflicted justification, and may I ask you, how's that working for you? Or you can try something else. You can try something else. Now, you can look to something outside of you, another god, another politician, or you can find and depend upon what's inside you. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages. Let's go back real quickly through the chat room and see what you have here. Day 21 of a great fast, down 16 pounds, never felt better. In another 4 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll have never looked better. And folks, making the right decisions makes your life right. Perfect timing, says Get Dagger. Great. Hello from Canada. Boy, the other night we had Australia, we had Ireland, we had Mexico, we had Hawaii, and we had New Zealand calling in on the late night in the Heartland. It's a great show. Please make sure that you show up tonight. Can you give us the pre-72 Dianetics link, Harry? Go to the Dianetics. If you go to my main page, you'll see the playlist. It's the Create Yourself playlist. The link to the pre-1972 Dianetics information's there. That's because in 72, L. Ron Hubbard was kidnapped, and Scientology and Dianetics were turned from white Scientology to black Scientology. Sorcha is here to troll the trolls. Thank you for that. Let's see. Yes, I've lived with someone on a roller coaster. Says Mother of Dragons. It's no fun. It's no fun. What else we got here real quickly? Jay Everett says, there's a reason I'm here listening to you on this exact subject. Of course there is. And thank you for being here. Bipolar is a struggle. And I can't sit here and say bipolar will be cured when you get dianetically cleared. All I can say is that everyone else that's had it, that has done it, has been. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a doctor. I'm not offering medical advice. I'm just telling you what I know and what the research since 1946 shows, ladies and gentlemen. Aren't we all bad sometimes? Yes and no. Andres, we're not born bad. We're not naturally bad, but sometimes we do bad things. But you're not bad. You're a good person doing a bad thing. And bad things shouldn't be done by anybody. Don't walk on eggshells like Shady J says. You know, get on the bus, Gus. There's a bus leaving every 5 minutes, my friend. Get on it. Get on it. Pump up the volume. Skeleton Man says 100. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lady Justice isn't sure that Cynthia likes my suit jackets, but I think she came back in and said they've grown on her. Here's a perfect example of what we were talking about. Cynthia, the lovely, brilliant Cynthia says, my mom used to beat me all the time, crying and telling me how much she loved me. That's a recipe for one hell of an Engram salad. When somebody beats me, does it mean they love me? When somebody loves me, does it mean they should beat me? Does that mean I'm bad? Does that mean I'm good? Dude, what do? You freak out. You have problemos. That was way back when. And I can tell you, she is not there now. And see, Lady Justice, she does love them now. It took her a bit. Maybe she's being nice. You know, what we do is so serious, and what we do is so in depth, and what we do is so heavy that we got to bring a little comedy and a little levity and a little fun to the table. And that's why I do some of the things I do and say some of the things I say, because I'm trying to not freak everybody out. You know what I mean? Because I'm one of the guys on YouTube that isn't trying to make you afraid. I might be the only guy on YouTube that's not trying to make you afraid. That's not true, because that X22 guy is always giving some good news, and I appreciate him. Engrams of others will re-stimulate yours. Absolutely, Lionel. And then then it's really a party. When Screaming Mimi triggers your Engram, and then it's all kinds of fun. That's when the cops get called. That's when folks start getting tased. Oh yeah, it's a party then when we got everybody's Engrams kicking off all at once. It's a party. Woo! It really, really is. But it's a bad party. Chody says we need to make sure Donald Trump wins in a landslide victory, and he will. If we go vote, he'll win. I'm making this prediction here again. He will win more than 45 states. He will crush the popular vote. He will crush the Electoral College, and we will initiate the greatest American century ever, 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 ever. Thank you, Benevolent High Priestess. I appreciate that. All right. Trump will win by a landslide, says Skeleton, I believe. That is absolutely true. They're hoping that people will buy the fake polls. Remember, folks, the polls in 2016, the polls in 2020 mirror almost exactly the polls of 2016. Hillary's going to win. Hillary's going to win. Hillary's going to win. Hillary's going to win. And thank God the Wicked Witch of Arkansas did not win. Did not win. Cynthia, in the understatement of the day, says that this election cycle isn't as fun as the last one. Absolutely not. But you know what? To me, it's still fun. It's still fun. Maybe I'm crazy, but I like it. I like it. I like it. Vargas, interesting point. So we can say that most people are reptilian because they only use that part of their brain. Most people are being stimulated now and are acting and living in the reptilian part of their brain. So Vargas, yeah, maybe. All right. The phone line's open. I don't let you troll during the show, but the phone line is open, and I haven't installed the new system yet. I'm going to do that right after this before 11. The phone line is open. We'll give you like 3 minutes in order to get on the phone and make your call. But yeah, we're not going to hold our breath, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to hold our breath. On Wednesday night, this coming Wednesday, and I'll update you with the actual time. Well, I'll tell you right now because I'm in my email, and that's where my calendar is. We're going to have Mike King, the great Mike King from realhistoryczan.com or .org. Make sure he had to change it. He'll be with us from 8 until 9 p.m. Central Time, and that is a recurring program every second Wednesday and every last Wednesday of the month. Mike is going to come on. He's going to talk to us about what he's been talking to us about on the Real History Chan website for those last 2 weeks. He puts out some of the best information that is out there regarding soup to nuts. I mean, he talks about social, he talks about political, he talks about cultural, he talks about historical, lots and lots of great stuff. I mean, he's right up there with great information with Paladin and with our friend Lady Justice. Great information. And he will be with us every second and last Wednesday of the month. And that starts this week at 8 p.m. Central. Make sure that you're in the hizzy for that because it's going to be an amazing, great, and good time. Now, tonight at 11:01, we're coming to you with another edition of Late Night in the Heartland. I will be there with you, and we'll be there for two full hours, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the phone number, only for trolls right now. Okay, only for trolls right now. 813-534-0083. The phone number is 813-534-0083. 813-534-0083. That's only the phone number for the next few hours because it'll be changed to another one. If you're a troll, if you disagree with me, if you think I'm the Antichrist, I'm the devil, I'm a horrible person, that I should be shot, nobody loves me, I'm ugly, and Cynthia dresses me funny, call. If you disagree with stuff I said today, call. I'm sitting right here waiting for you. And Amy Coney Barrett today, in her opening statements before the August, and I use that as I threw up a little bit in my mouth, very loosely, states that she will interpret laws as they are written. And that's why we love her. And that's why the deep state hates her, ladies and gentlemen. But she's going to be confirmed, and it's going to be a great, great day. All right, folks, we're going to conclude this portion of Podcast Excellence. We'll be back tonight at 11:01. If any of you trolls and critics should find your balls before 11:01, you can make the calls. We only had one troll, and this was the Prince of Trolls. He called in, but he called in and gave a fake name. Well, technically it wasn't a fake name. It was his middle name. He calls in and gives a middle name and then does a troll prank call because he don't have the balls to make a real call. And that's the only troll we ever heard from. I'm the most accessible man, woman, in between on YouTube. And yet the trolls never step up. Well, because they're trolls. Until tonight at 11, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, the mailman. We have brought the mail to you. Cynthia, Jama, Tracy, thank you for being the great moderators that you are. Although I didn't notice if Tracy was here. She might have actually been doing some work. But we love all of you moderators. Cynthia, my partner, my best friend, my cohort in bringing this work to you. And like Critical Thinker says, still crickets. Ask questions, question answers, unindoctrinate yourself, and then get busy. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, your Christian Whistleblower. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, your mailman, making my appointed rounds, and you've got mail.